This lecture is equally useful for both the students of English literature or post-colonial literature and English language. If you want to understand this entire lecture, please make notes while listening. Further, to know more about post-colonial literature, watch my other useful videos. The links of these videos are given in the description box below. Before starting our new lecture, I request you to subscribe my YouTube channel and press the bell icon to get the videos notification on time. In this video, I'll stick to the content of the presentation. Things Fall Apart is about tragic fall of protagonist Okonkwo and the Igbo culture. Okonkwo is a respected and influential leader within the Igbo community of Umuofia in eastern Nigeria. He first earns personal fame and distinction and brings honor to his village when he defeats Emma Lyons, the cat, in a wrestling contest. Okonkwo determines to gain titles for himself and become a powerful and wealthy man in spite of his father's weaknesses. Okonkwo's father, Onoko, was a lazy and wasteful man. He often borrowed money and then squandered it on palm wine and merrymaking with friends. Consequently, his wife and children often went hungry. Within community, Onoko was considered a failure and a laughing stock. He was referred to as Agbala, one who resembles the weakness of a woman and has no property. Onoko died a shameful death and left numerous debts. Okonkwo despises and resents his father's gentle and idle ways. He resolves to overcome the shame that he feels as a result of his father's weaknesses by being what he considers to be manly. Therefore, he dominates his wives and children by being insensitive and controlling. Because Okonkwo is a leader of his community, he is asked to care for a young boy named Ikmefuna, who is given to the village as a peace offering by neighboring Mabaino to avoid war with Umuofia. Ikmefuna befriends Okonkwo's son, Novi, and Okonkwo becomes inwardly fond of the boy. Over the years, Okonkwo becomes an extremely volatile man. He is apt and exploit at the slightest provocation. He violates the week of peace when he beats his youngest wife, Ujugo, because at a friend's house and forgot to prepare the afternoon meal and feed her children. Later, he severely beats and shoots a gun at his second wife, Ikwefi, because she took leaves from his banana plant to rape food for the feast of the new yam. After the coming of Locust, Ogbufi Azuda, the oldest man in the village, relied to Okonkwo a message for the oracle. The oracle says that Ikmefuna must be killed as part of retribution for the Umuofian women killed 3 years earlier. He tells Okonkwo not to partake in murder, but Okonkwo does not listen. He feels that not participating would be a sign of weakness. Consequently, Okonkwo kills Ikmefuna with his machete. Novi realizes that his father has murdered Ikmefuna and begins to distance himself from his father and the clansmen. Okonkwo becomes depressed after killing Ikmefuna, so he visits his best friend, Obrika, who disapproves of his role in Ikmefuna's killing. Obrika says that Okonkwo's act will upset the earth and the earth goddess will seek revenge. After discussing Ikmefuna's death with Obrika, Okonkwo is finally able to sleep restfully, but he is awakened by his wife Ikwefi. Their daughter Izinma, whom Okonkwo is fond of, is dying. Okonkwo gathers grasses, barks, and leaves to prepare medicine for Izinma. A public trial is held on the village commons. 9 clan leaders, including Okonkwo, represent the spirit of their ancestors. The 9 clan leaders, or Igugu, also represent the 9 villages of Umuofia. Okonkwo does not sit among the other 8 leaders or elders while they listen to dispute between an estranged husband and wife. The wife, Magbafo, had been severely beaten by her husband. Her brother took her back to their family's village, but her husband wanted her back home. One older leader wonders why such a trivial dispute would come before the Igugu. In her roles as priestess, Kilio tells Ikwefi, Okonkwo's second wife, that Agbala, the oracle of hills and caves, needs to see Ezinma. Okonkwo and Ikwefi protest. Kilio attacks a terrified Azinma on her back and forbids anyone to follow. Kilio carries Azinma to all 9 villages and then enters the oracle's cave. Ikwifi follows secretly in spite of Kilio's domination and waits at the entrance of the oracle. Okonkwo surprises Ikwifi by arriving at the cave, and he also waits with her. The next morning, Kilio takes Azinma to Ikwifi's hut and puts her to bed. When Ogbuefi Iziro dies, Okonkwo worries because the last time that Iziro visited him was when he warned Okonkwo against participating in the killing of Ikmifuna. Iziro was an important leader in the village and achieved 3 titles of the clans for a rare accomplishment. During the large funeral, Okonkwo's gun goes off and Iziro's 16-year-old son is killed accidentally. Because the accident killing of the clansman is a crime against the earth goddess, Okonkwo and his family must be exiled from Euphomia for 7 years. The family moves to Okonkwo's mother's native village, Mabanta. After they departed Euphomia, a group of villagemen destroy Okonkwo's compound and kill his animals to cleanse the village of Okonkwo's sin. Obrika stores Okonkwo's yam in his barn and wonders about the old traditions of the Igbo culture. Okonkwo is welcomed to Mabanta by his maternal uncle, Ochundo, a village elder. He gives Okonkwo a plot of land on which to form and build a compound for his family. But Okonkwo is depressed and he blames his chi, or personal spirit, for his failure to achieve lasting greatness. During Okonkwo's 2nd year in exile, he received a visit from his best friend, Obrika, who recounts sad news about the village of Abam. After a white man rode into the village on a bicycle, the elders of Abam consulted their oracle, which told them that the white man would destroy their clan and other clans. Consequently, the villagers killed the white man, but weeks later, a large group of men slaughtered the villagers in retribution. The village of Abam is now deserted. Okonkwo and Ochundo agree that the villagers were foolish to kill a man whom they knew nothing about. Later, Obrika gives Okonkwo money that he received from selling Okonkwo's yams and seed yams, and he promises to do so until Okonkwo returns to Euphomia. 6 missionaries, including 1 white man, arrives in Mabanta. The white man speaks to the people about Christianity. Okonkwo believes that the man speaks nonsense, but his son, Noyi, is captivated and becomes a convert of Christianity. The Christian missionaries built a church on land given to them by the village leaders. However, the land is a part of the evil forest, and according to tradition, the villagers believe that the missionaries will die because they built their church on cursed land. But when nothing happens to the missionaries, the people of Mabanta concluded that the missionaries possess extraordinary power and magic. The first recruits of missionaries are Ifulifu, a weak and worthless man of the village. Other villagers, including a woman, some convert to Christianity. The missionaries then go to Euphomia and start a school. Noyi leaves his father's hut and moves to Euphomia so he can attend the school. Okonkwo's exile is over, so his family arranges to return to Euphomia. Before leaving Mabanta, they prepare a huge feast for Okonkwo's mother's kinsmen in appreciation of their gratitude during Okonkwo's 7 years of exile. When Okonkwo returns to Euphomia, he discovers that the village has changed during his absence. Many men have renounced their titles and have converted to Christianity. The white men have built a prison. They have established a government court of law where people are tried to breaking the white man's law, and they also employ natives of Euphomia. Okonkwo wonders why the Euphomians have not incited violence to rid the village of the white man's church and oppressive government. Some members of the Igbo clan like the changes in Euphomia. Mr. Brown, the white missionary, respects the Igbo culture or tradition. He makes an effort to learn about the Igbo culture and becomes friendly with some of the clan leaders. He also encourages Igbo people of all ages to get an education. Mr. Brown tells Okonkwo that Noyi, who has taken the name Isaac, is attending a teaching college. Nevertheless, Okonkwo is unhappy about the changes in Euphomia. After Mr. Brown becomes ill and is forced to return to his homeland, Reverend James Smith becomes the new head of the Christian church. But Reverend Smith is nothing like Mr. Brown. He is intolerant of clan customs and is very strict. Violence arises after Enoch and overzealous convert to Christianity en masse in Igugu. The retaliation, the Igugu burn Enoch's compound and then destroy the Christian church because the machineries have caused the Igbo people many problems. When the district commissioner returns to Umuofia, he learns about the destruction of church and asks 6 leaders of the village, including Okonko, to meet with him. The men are jailed until they pay a fine of 250 bags of cowries. The people of Umuofia collect the money and pay the fine, and the men are set free. The next day, at a meeting for clansmen, 5 court managers who intend to stop the gathering approach the group. Suddenly, Okonko jumps forward and beheads the man in charge of the messengers with his machete. When none of the other clansmen attempt to stop the messengers who escape, Okonko realizes that they will never go to war and the Umuofia will surrender. Everything has fallen apart for Okonko. He commits suicide by hanging himself. Thank you so much.